first and foremost, 2022 has been a little bit of disappointment, if I could say, in terms of the amount of states that have passed the gaming regulation. What we have seen is that 2021, coming out of the pandemic and so on and so forth, the record number has passed the online gaming laws, which was very aspiring for the upcoming 2022 year. However, out of projected, I think we projected like 5 or 6 states to pass the laws. Only two so far have managed to do that. Those are Maine and Kansas. And it's a little unlikely. I mean, there are two more states that we think could still pass, but it is very possible that Maine and Kansas are going to be the only ones. And then when it comes to the amount of sports books that they're going to support, Maine only allows 4 and Kansas passed 12. And out of these two, only the latter one is going to be able to go live this year, which we think is going to happen in August for the new football season. So 2022 so far has a little under-delivered in terms of the states that have passed the legislations. The good news this year were that New York has finally launched, and it was spectacular, and all of the records have been broken. What we have seen at the end of 2021 is that New Jersey, months over months, we've seen record months, especially at the end of the year, and in January as well. But then New York came in, and in 2 weeks, they showed what New Jersey has been showing in the whole months. And yeah, the first month has broken all of the records, and in a little bit over a month, they have showed 2 billion of sports betting handle, which is amazing. We have also had Ontario launched on April 4th. Official numbers, unfortunately, have not been released yet. Because Ontario Gaming Commission is waiting for the local elections to pass before releasing the report. But so far, we could say that the launch has been performing quite well. And according to the BetMGM CEO's report that has been published last week, the market has pleasantly surprised with a higher player conversion rate and higher bet amounts, which is great news for everybody who's been waiting for the Canadian market to open up. California, always the big question on everybody's mind. Out of the three big states, Texas, Florida, and California, California is the one who is most likely to have some movement this year. And that's because they're going to decide in November on the ballot what will be the form in which online sports betting is going to be allowed. It will either be tribal or commercial backed initiatives. A lot of people are waiting for this, obviously, as we all. But the interesting factor that has played in this year, which I think only accelerates that move, is that, as we all know, inflation and $6 per gallon that is already happening in California, and the fact that the most tribal casinos are located in the south of the state, at least 3 hours away from the major cities, we believe is going to be an even bigger push for California to get even closer to legalizing sports betting. As we mentioned, another 1 or 2 states could still pass online gaming laws this year. Out of the ones that are most likely, in our opinion, are North Carolina and Massachusetts. But it is a big if, because there are still the hurdles that regulators have to reconcile before passing those laws. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully there will be 4 states this year that pass those laws. Again, an interesting factor this year has been the rising inflation. It's gotten even worse as of the month of May and June. So yeah, it would be quite interesting to see what impact does that have on gaming revenues, both online and on site. I have seen already the reports coming out from Nevada, how they are looking at the revenue from Las Vegas for this month and the previous months already, and it turns out that there has not been any difference in the revenue numbers, in fact, because Las Vegas is located within 30 to 20 to 15-minute drive for a lot of people who like to gamble. So that's why they're still thinking that the on-site gaming revenue in Nevada is going to continue, but we'll see how that plays out for a lot of other states, and especially online. So the current inflation is reported at 8.6%, which is the highest it's been in the last, I believe, 5 years. And it's only predicted to go worse. And a lot of people are saying that those are the official numbers, which means that the inflation rate is in fact much worse for a lot of people. Again, what's interesting here is that so far there's not been a lot of studies done just yet about the impact on the gaming, and we don't have the numbers just yet to say how much is it's affecting gaming and online gaming in general. Again, Nevada seems to be doing fine for now. Other people are saying that we have to wait and see, really. But from the articles that I've read, overall consensus of the industry is that it's going to affect the spending. To what degree, it's hard to predict right now, but we do expect to see the numbers to go a little down. But again, don't take my word for it. We have to see the numbers to we have to wait until at least another month or so to see how that really happens in reality. So yeah, we'll see. A lot of people are talking about recession indeed. Yeah, with a lot of problems that we have in the world right now, US is a big part of that global community. And yeah, we are thinking about recession. The next 6 to 18 months is going to be very interesting for the US economy, that's for sure. Let's look at the revenue numbers. So right now we are in May, June. We have not covered that in this slide, but we're seeing slightly lower numbers. But overall, from January until April, the numbers for the gaming industry, they always go up. And what we have seen here across the board, if it's a slot, if it's a sports betting, if it's online gaming, and land-based, the numbers go up and up year over year compared to April 21. And same for the whole period of Jan to April. We're coming out of the pandemic, and a lot of people are still very keen to spend and to look at what states have legalized, to participate in, again, a lot of new states that have joined the cohort last year and this year. So we're definitely seeing an increased revenue numbers across the board. And here we have taken the graph from American Gaming Associations that looks back on the period for 2020 to 22, so the last 2 years. And you can see that there are definitely dips, but when you look at the trend for the last calendar year, the numbers just keep going up and up and up, and year over year is increasing. So yeah, with everything, with what we're reporting for how the numbers are going up until April. Again, May, it's the month when it's been the worst so far in terms of inflation in the US. So we'll see what the summer brings. And even though, again, like the summer is considered to be the down state in terms of the revenue, because no major leagues are playing, but let's see how that number is going to be during the off season and then on season in the fall. Very interesting times, y'all. Thank you so much for listening.